Thank you, Ms. Okomo, for introducing me. And first of all, I'd like to say good morning to Mrs. Angela Baudry as our expert here, and to my fellow presenter, Mr. Ajayi, and to all of my audiences here. So today I will talk about students' knowledge application, hard skills, and soft skills improvement with an international camaraderie competition, or IC2. So for short, to help you to remember the name of this project, you can just remember IC2. That's it. Next slide, please. So this is our table of contents. I will divide my presentation into 4 sections. The first one is the background of the project with details that you can see on the screen. Following it, we have the concepts of the project. And in section 3, we have the obstacles that we may face and the supports that we may have to as the solution for the problems. And last but not least, we will discover the steps to implement the project. Next slide, please. So this is the first section, which is the background of the project. Next slide, please. The background of my IC2 project are 2, and this is the first one. So we need to consider the 4th goal of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. These Sustainable Development Goals were established by 193 member states of United Nations in 2015. And as a student in a teacher education faculty, I put my attention to the 4th goal of these Sustainable Development Goals, which is quality education. In my opinion, education is very important because without education, we can't fulfill or accomplish another goals that are already here. For example, when we want to reach the first goal, no poverty, or the 8th goal, decent work and economic growth, they won't happen when we don't have good quality of human resources. That's why education really matters. Next slide, please. And this is my second reason where this project is built on. So we have the transition impacts from COVID-19 pandemic to the endemic era, because we have known that at present, globally, we are in the endemic era already, as WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom, already announced on May 5th, 2023, that COVID-19 is no longer public health emergency, so that everything already goes normally right now. And at the campus, events are already held offline. So that let's look at the impacts of this transition. The first one is declining number of online events. Second, higher cost to hold an event with an international experienced speaker. So as we have known that in the pandemic era, we had many online events. Or maybe we had it because we want to rescue our youth from the boredom of the isolation for online learning. And then for now, as everything already went back to normal, we have abandoned of offline events. And in the pandemic era, it was easy for us to invite a professional person from another country as our speaker in our event. But now it costs us very high because we need to pay for the trip fare like that. Therefore, those 2 aforementioned reasons bring us a significant concern. Next, please. So this is our concern. We have this urgency regarding our youth. What is it? So the urgency is we must be aware that hard skills, soft skills, and knowledge application are three elements that are very significant to be had by our youth. Then when we talk about youth, we can refer them as university students like me. Therefore, after graduating from our college, we will enter the world of work. And we already know that the fact in the world of work is that employers want to have employees who are not only good in their score on paper or in their GPA like that, but they also want to have employees who are good in applying their technical skills or hard skills and non-technical skills or soft skills, as well as applying their knowledge, which they have learned in their university. Moreover, those three elements, hard skills, soft skills, and knowledge application, are the things that will help the youth to survive in the world of work later. So that's why those three elements are very significant for our youth. Following it, when our youth are already excellent in those three elements, they will become our future, our nation's future, especially economically. Because when we have a good quality of human resources, it will improve our nation's economic conditions. And that's why, even though we are already in this endemic era, we still need an online event like this IEC2 project. Next slide, please. We are moving to section 2. So I will explain the concepts of the project. So IEC2. IEC2 is International Camaraderie Competition. And in that name, we need to pay attention on the word of camaraderie. It means a positive feeling towards other. And in it, we will create an environment to share our experience and insights so that there will be a learning environment in a positive way. That's why the concept is there will be no trophy as the gift or the prize, and no money prize here for the participants or the winner. The next thing is the competition will, I'm sorry, thank you. The competition will be held annually, and it will be held in English, and it has many types. And of course, the point is the participant doesn't need to pay anything for the event, for joining the event, because it's free. And the ground idea for this project is that event, which I joined in 2022. Next slide, please. So as what I said before, these are the competition types that we may have. For instance, online group games like Tetris and chess, then poster making, poem writing and reading, and then art like singing, dancing, and drawing. Then we may have essay writing as well. Lastly, speech. So those are the example of the competition type that we may have. And the concept of the event is we will have a live streaming but we need to make sure that all participants already submitted their work result before the day, except the online group games. So we will show the result, like the video of speech, video of art, singing, dancing, etc. Through live streaming, maybe through a YouTube platform or Facebook, like that. So now let's pay attention on the writing on the left part of the slide. From those competition types, we can facilitate the youth to enhance their hard skills, soft skills and knowledge application. So for hard skills, for example, by joining this, the youth will train their skill to design something, like when they join the poster making, and they will train their skill to write by joining the essay writing or poem writing. And for soft skills, they will train their creativity by doing the art and poem writing, etc. And they also will train their critical thinking by making the speech and essay writing. And now let's talk about the knowledge application. It's very interesting because it's related with the picture, the small picture on the bottom left. Please look at it. We have Bloom's taxonomy. It is a framework that I learned in my study program last semester. It is a framework containing the level of thinking in order. So the highest one, create, is the highest or hardest thinking level. So the connection is when the participant joins the essay writing or speech competition, they will create something, right? They will create the essay, they will create the draft of the speech that they will deliver later. And it means that they already performed the highest or the hardest thinking activity, meaning that they already applied their knowledge. They already applied what they learned in the university by analyzing the things or problems or issues surrounding them, and they will evaluate it. And as a result, they have that essay and they have that speech. That's it. Next slide, please. So here I will explain the other technical things for the participants and the hosts. For the participants, of course, they are the university students, but there are no limitation for the age and for the semesters where the students are in, because this event is very inclusive and it's open for all. And the host, we need to have 5 main universities as the continuous committee for this event to make it for us to make it annual. So we need that main university. And here I have a diagram for the structure example for the committee. And as I have been joining the organization in my campus for 2 years, so I knew a little bit about the structure, and that's it. I gave that example. Next slide, please. So here we will talk about the obstacles and the supports. Frankly speaking, we must realize that when we try to hold this event, we may have obstacles or problems to face. So we have two examples of obstacles that we may face. The first one is we may have a low zeal of our participants to join in this event because we are now in this endemic era. And maybe it's hard for us to find the leaders, but we have the supports or the solution. So we have technology. We may use the technology, we may utilize it to promote this event by using social media, through poster, infographics like that, to promote this event through all students in each campuses who wants to participate. And so that's the solution for the first obstacle. And for the second problem, we need to enhance and expand our inter-university cooperation. And I believe each campus already has cooperation with another university, so that after knowing that we have that cooperation between university, especially between the 5 main host universities, we need to look at the highest students organization in those 5 main universities. For example, in my campus, the highest students organization is called Student Representative Board, or BPMU. So after having those students organization, which has leaders, respective of them has leaders. So we may choose the leaders from those universities. So that's the solution. Next slide, please. So this is our last section. So these are the steps to implement the projects. We have 7 steps here. The first step is we need to build the cooperation between the universities. Following it, we need to create the event committees. We need to choose at least 15 people, and each of a host university may send 3 people, so that we may have 15 people in all. So, and then in step 3, we need to plan and organize the event. From the committees, from those 15 people, we may divide them into 2 divisions, like the event organizer team and the creative team. For the event organizer team, we will ask them to help us to create the timeline, to choose the judge, maybe from the lecturers. And from the creative team, we will need them to create a poster or infographics to promote this IC2 project. And step 4, we need to promote the event. Following it, we need to hold the event by live streaming, or for instance, through YouTube or Facebook, like that. And step 6, we need to create a report of the program implementation, because we need to be responsible. We need to be honest to report the success of this event, maybe the number of participants, like that. And lastly, we need to change the committees and leaders annually. Next slide, please. So that's all from me. Thank you for your participation and attention. And allow me to close this presentation with a quote from Franklin D. Roosevelt. We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future through this IC2 project, because we give them a chance, we give them an opportunity, and we facilitate them to enhance their hard skill, soft skill, and knowledge application when they are still in the university. So maybe we can say that it is their last chance to enhance those 3 elements. So that's it. So with IC2, the future of every nation is true. Thank you.